Hi everybody, I'm Kelly Harrell, and you're listening to What in the Weird. The weekly rune came out yesterday. It came out Sunday, ad-free and in full for the Patreon supporters. And the cast this week speaks a bit toward having elemental support just naturally in place. The runes that came up were Alyes as the half-month, Laguz as the intuitive stave, and Ingwaz as nature's logic, nature's message to us. Significant about this cast is all this native support being in place and hoping that we know what to do with it, that we can get ourselves in the groove to actually make use of it. And I can tell you, it's pretty unusual to just have all this natural support already in place for us. Last week on the show, I talked about claiming your calling, which is a huge facet of my shamanic work with others. It's truly the trend of the day, and everybody wants to learn their calling, their life purpose, or whatever it is that you want to call it. So the new cool club is living your calling, which is great. To me, that's an indicator of our spiritual maturity, because for so long, those phrases weren't even on the radar of people who came to me in my practice, and they were certainly not a common New Age dialogue that was happening. But here's the thing. I get tons of clients and tons of inquiries from people who are just buzzing to learn their life purpose and calling, yet they're in an abusive relationship. They're in deep financial distress. They're abusing substances, or they're in a deep depression regarding some present or past life dynamic. You see where I'm going with this. This is the spiritual cart before the horse. And when I say this to folks, when I say you can't learn and really focus on your life purpose and manifesting it until you deal with some of these mundane life dynamics, I'm often met with, but I know I'm here to help people. Well, yay, that's awesome. I'm glad you're here to help people. But the old adage is true. You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, or you bring absolutely nothing useful to the community that you want to support. This knowledge is the basis of completing personal initiations before working with others as a shaman. Not just starting initiations or being aware of the need for initiations, completing them. You have to be finished. And I dare say it's also true about any calling that would have you in service to others. If you begin work with others before you're in a solid place with your own stuff, you're not just taking resources away from yourself that you need. You're not giving other people, the people you say you want to serve, the full benefit of your wisdom and experience. You've not completed your own initiation such that you have the wisdom and experience to draw on. Many of us feel drawn to some calling of service. I can tell you with absolute certainty that even your spirit guides will only let you get so far into pursuing that calling without having dealt with your own shit. And that dealing begins with the very base wounds having been healed, having a healing plan consistently in place, and actively making use of those resources so that your base needs are met. Nobody gets the spiritual bypass of starting at the top, i.e. starting at fulfilling your calling. Does that mean we get everything we want, a perfect everyday life? No. But it does mean that you're grounded in whatever your everyday life is, so that you can explore your spiritual possibilities more securely and with real skills. There's this idea in the New Age that because we feel on fire to do some spiritual pursuit, that we're actually ready to do so. I've watched countless people crash and burn mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, because they attempted to draw too much with too little to stand on. I've also watched their clients flail and sink into crisis because their spiritual guru wasn't personally up to the task of their job title. You owe yourself and your clients to walk it the way you talk it. You owe yourself clarity on what you're doing here, what you want to do here, and how you bring that unique gift to bear. As an animist, I believe that we each have a unique gift that's ours and only ours to do on this planet. Do yourself and the planet a huge favor and don't attempt it half-assed. We have enough of that. All around us, every day, we're seeing the results of it crumbling in our economic, political, and social systems. So the runes this week merely provide the elemental backdrop for the work that we can do. It's still up to us to do the clearing and claiming first. Feeling the inspiration is only that. It's a feeling. Knowing what to do with it, knowing how to bring it fully into your life and live it so that you are in service of supporting others to do the same is a completely extra step. Rarely does anything just fall in our laps. And when it does, we often still don't possess the skills to make solid use of it. This week is your chance to understand what in your life needs to be eased, needs to be abated, so that you can get yourself ready to realize and claim your calling. If you know your calling and want to get better at claiming it, let's talk. If you have no idea what your calling is and you want to explore that, let's talk. And if you need support in how to get your life aligned to even begin having this dialogue, you guessed it, I can help you do that. Drop me a line on Anchor by hitting the call button or at Kelley, Kelley, at soulintentarts.com. So go check out the rune this week. See what it says about helping you to get aligned with the elemental support that's available. I'm Kelley, and this has been What in the Weird. Dream well.